Hey, welcome back to RV Capital Talk. The subject is RV-ID, which is a technology that combines GPS and cellular technology to really develop an industry solution that benefits the entire supply chain from the manufacturer to the dealer to the consumer. And joining us is Jon Corn from RV-ID at rv-id.com, and of course Sherman Goldenberg as well. Jon, we were talking about the general way that this operates. You take this unit and it's actually tie wrapped or physically mounted into the RV, connected to 12-volt power, and from that time forward, it looks at the GPS, figures out where it is, and then it uses a cellular data network to send that back to your computer system, which then I guess your subscribers can actually observe where that unit is then in real time.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Andy. Each of our customers get a customized portal to our system. When they log in, they just go to rv-id.com, press login, and when they log in, our system knows who that is and displays the information that is, well, A, just relevant to their business, and depending on their business type, let's say for an example, they're an OEM, they see the types of information that are important to an OEM's business. And I actually have I have a screen up here that we could switch over to, and I could actually give you a short demo if you want to see some of the features that we do offer for OEMs.
Oh, absolutely. Now this would be if you had, for example, if Coachmen had the unit installed in their RVs, they would get only their data. It's not mixed up with any other manufacturer then,
in fact, Coachmen does have these.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Andy. We have an encrypted system that is the same level of security that financial institutions use. And when you log in, you only see information related to motorhomes in which you have a stake. So if you're an OEM, let's say you're Coachmen, you're only going to see Coachmen RVs. If you happen to be a wholesale lender, you're only going to see the RVs in which you have a loan on. You don't see anybody else's information.
So in the case of a wholesale lender, we see whereas GE Capital is using RV-ID. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, what RV-ID can do for wholesale lenders is it's a fantastic enhancer for the floor check process. For time eternal, the way that floor plan lenders have kept an eye on their floor plan collateral is through manual floor checks. They send people out to, basically with a clipboard to count RVs and make sure what is supposed to be in inventory still is. They also do other things while they're there. For example, get a bead on RV condition. But with RV-ID, it can be a tremendous enhancer to what they do. It perhaps means that floor check auditors don't need to travel to dealers as often as they do. And then also when they arrive, they can use RV-ID to precisely locate where any particular RV is. And what's great about that for a floor check auditor is that it's fairly easy to see what's on the lot, but the ones they really care about are the ones that are not on the lot. So when a floor check guy gets to the lot and let's say he's supposed to look on 50 RVs, well, maybe he finds 44, but where are the other 6? And now with RV-ID, all he has to do is basically plug in the last 4 of the VIN, and RV-ID will bead in on that. If you switch over to the other screen, I can actually show you an example of that. For example, let's just say I want to see an RV with the last 4 of the VIN happens to be 5853. I just say 5853, and it zooms right in on that unit. And you can see there a image, and it happens to be RV World of Lakeland. And the RV I was looking for with the last 4 of 5853 is in this location.
I was expecting it to zoom up to the map. I had no idea that it would actually show you the photograph there. That's fantastic.
Stunning.
Oh, well, thanks. And then if you want more information on that, you could just click on the icon there, and gives you the VIN and some additional info. And then you also have access to its trip details, an info sheet, and its alert history.
Yeah.
So for example, if you want to see its trip details, you just click trip details, and you see that it's taken 2 trips. One was its trip from the factory to this dealership, and it took another trip while it was in inventory. So let's look at this en route trip. You click that, and it shows you the route that it took when it left Elkhart County and landed in Florida.
Well, could you summarize, John, some of the other applications for this from dealers on through?
Well, sure. Well, you know, if it's okay, Sherm, I'd like to just mention on the OEM side, because that's typically where it starts.
Oh, okay.
When an OEM installs the device in the RV, and by the way, this isn't just for motorized units, it's also for towable. The device I showed on the screen in the earlier segment is our device that it's the hardwired unit. We also have one that includes a battery backup, and it's rechargeable. And that battery can actually power the device for 6 months or more. So it can be installed early on in the manufacturing process, even before the 12-volt system is added to the RV. And by doing it that way, OEMs can actually use it during production to find RVs wherever they might be on their campus. So for the OEMs that are yard builders that need to find a particular RV when it gets ready for shipment, they don't have to spend time walking around and walking up and down rows of RVs. They can use the feature I just showed you to find exactly where it is. Also, if they need to find one, for example, to install a part that wasn't available when it came through that particular station, can do that. And then, you know, after it's sold, as I showed you with that trip detail, RVID can be used to track shipment along the way to the dealer. And one of the things that we do that I haven't quite touched on yet is that RVID at its heart is a rules-based exception reporting system. So we have beautiful maps and lots of fun stuff to look at, but the neat thing about RVID is that you can essentially set it up for your particular use so that you don't have to go to your portal on RVID. Instead, you can program it to send you certain alerts that will help you conduct your part of the business.
John,
so
if you could hold that thought for a moment, because I think Sherman and I are both appreciating that there's a lot to talk about with this system. Might also remind you that this segment, if you're watching on RV Business, this is a portion of the entire show, which you can see at rvnn.tv, and go to RV Capital Talk, and you'll be able to see the entire show all combined together. John, we'll come back in just a moment, so if you're watching, stick with us here on RV Capital Talk.
For more TV like this from the world of RVs, head to rvnn.tv.